原本计划花几个小时的时间把神龙集团的任务给结束，没想到几个小时居然没办法结束。继续之前的任务，到星空酒吧去离间2个企业的合作。
Infinity Ltd and Quantum Synergies. Your job is to make sure that deal fails. If the two are meeting to work out a contract, that tells us Infinity must be looking to get into the ship business. And we'd like to delay that, if we can.
任务开始之前，先看一下双方的个人资料，好应对。这就是星空酒吧了，我的天啊 ！Oh my god！ 舞台上那是什么鬼啊 ？Cyberpunk 的城市怎么会有这样的舞者呢？该不会是 Bethesda 这个版本是被和谐阉割掉了吧？这边台上的舞者也是一样 ，Oh my god， 真的是太丑了，哎，不管舞者了，继续任务吧。
Someone came dressed to impress. Here on business, or just out to escape? Same here. Nothing like a business trip paid in full, especially when there's good downtime. Quantum Synergies. I assume you have heard of us. Well, at least you know half of it. Quantum Synergies currently leads the industry in spacecraft OS. The name alone is synonymous with success. That would be Infinity Ltd. Of course. They're putting forth effort to impress us, which shows they value and respect us. It won't have any significant impact when it comes down to business decisions, but it makes a good impression. Risky, you say? By all means, enlighten me. Cuts corners. If they are sacrificing quality, be sure we will uncover it. We are a trusted business and would never partner with another company that may jeopardize our reputation. Their instability was cited as a pain point, but one we could deal with as long as we maintained control of all joint projects. However, upheaval always comes with its own series of issues, delays, morale, public perception. And Drexler has yet to prove he can provide the consistency that I would prefer. Perhaps it really is more than I'm willing to undertake. A surprising conversation, and one I would never expect from someone such as yourself. I suppose the old saying, never judge a book by its cover, is appropriate here. It seems I have quite a bit to reconsider now. So it looks like the pleasure aspect of my trip needs to be postponed. Thank you for the insight.
All these years, and Bayou hasn't let this place slip a single notch. The man knows how to run a business. Well, I take that as a compliment, coming from someone as well-dressed as yourself. You either got great taste or great connections, maybe even both. Tell me, you don't happen to work for Infinity Ltd, do you? Ryujin Industries. Now there's a name with some weight to it. And not all of it good, mind you. True, every company has their secrets, let's say. And Ryujin has been quite lucky when it comes to keeping those secrets on lockdown. I'm sure Lucas Drexler at Infinity would give an arm and a leg to learn Ryujin's methods. Of course, I'll be the first to say Drexler owes the majority of their profits to Ryujin as it is. Since I have your ear as one business person to another, I'm curious to know your thoughts on Infinity Ltd. I figured, if you were one of them, I wouldn't mind throwing a few points their way. Is that so? Lay it on me, then. That's an awfully big claim to make. You'd have to have some inside details on their operation. However, it does match some of my own research that I've been conducting into their finances. Aren't you the resourceful one? That number tracks with the insider details I've been getting. Interesting. Look, it was nice meeting you, and I quite enjoyed our little talk. But it sounds like I need to take another look at some data before I head into this presentation of theirs. See you around, and maybe next time I'll be doing business with you.
Queue for a cup of coffee right
我怀疑那个警卫根本是个 bug， 他就站在那边也不会四处走动。
I hope you have some good news for me. Well, that wasn't too bad, was it? Don't worry. We have people specifically focused on success probability. According to their reports, the combination of talking points plus the distribution that would be caused by the altered presentation gives us a 92.7% chance of success. Overall, not bad for your first high-profile assignment. You even earned yourself a bonus, which Lyndon was more than happy to give.
That's exceptionally kind of you, Imogen.
Don't tell me you forgot already. Our financial guru? They're brilliant with numbers. Also, if you ever want an honest opinion about anything, just ask them. They're honest to a fault, and often give their opinion on something whether you want it or not. Only as common as the flawless assignments you pull off. No one wants to clean up a mess. It takes a toll on several departments, which is why we like to promote a clean assignment. I like to recommend something fun or shiny and new. You never know when life will take a turn, especially in this line of work. But no rest for the weary at Ryujin. We've got a decent backlog of assignments, and they just keep coming, so I hope you're still good to go. At least this next one will be a break from all the chatter. Most days, I'm in complete agreement. Your next assignment is to remind the competitor of their place in the corporate food chain. Some call it retaliation, but we like to think of it as tough love. Not quite. When you uploaded that virus onto KeltCorp's network, that was a warning intended to slow down their internal productivity. KeltCorp suffered the effects of that silently, although I guarantee they endured some serious client complaints. This assignment is about making our target look completely negligent in the public eye. Let's just say we don't tolerate theft or smear campaigns against us. If you want to steal in this industry, you better not get caught. And if you want to tarnish our good name, you better be ready for repercussions. Most corporations live and die by public perception. Trusted products lead to a good reputation, which leads to profits. And, like it or not, we're all here for the profits. Your assignment is to plant an ARC device. The ARC will allow us to frame our competitor for gross negligence and tank the public's perception. ARC stands for Assault, Reprogram, Corrupt. We think of it as a multi-tool of sorts. The ARC locates hard wiring and manipulates the information current being sent back and forth. Depending on the situation, it's designed to do all sorts of things, but inevitably, they all result in malfunction. You're not wrong. Believe me, we don't take these assignments lightly. They're also one of few that Masako herself needs to sign off on, and only our most trusted operatives receive them. You just need to plant the ARC and avoid detection. Our technicians will handle the rest, and they're instructed to avoid as much harm as possible.
任务继续。
Hey there. Got an update for me? Good work. Now I can let Masako know how much she'll enjoy watching the news tonight. Now, on to the next, right? Oh, but before I forget, the results of your Astral Lounge escapades are in. I'm happy to say that the deal was officially called off. Masako was pretty happy about the results, so she arranged for a small bonus through Linden. It won't buy you a new ship, but it's something. My sources tell me it was a train wreck. Once her numbers didn't match up, Arthur was all over her with questions. It didn't take long for her to break composure, and that's when she lost Zola. So you could say that presentation went perfectly, as far as we're concerned. Hence the bonus. I wouldn't hold your breath on that one. Several other parties will be involved in that deal on a more legitimate level. And believe me, bonuses like this for operatives are few and far between. Not to mention you scored big in the reliability department. It makes this next assignment seem a bit lackluster, but it still carries weight. In order to stay on top of the market, we have to know what our competition is doing. The next assignment requires a more brute force approach, since the chances of them sharing that information is unlikely. Correction. You are going to steal from them. Don't forget, if you get caught, Ryujin will deny all knowledge. Oh, we definitely are. But why stay one step ahead when you can just leave the competition in the dust? We reverse engineer their plans, create a superior product, and beat them to market. We make the initial profit with less investment in R&D, and our competition is forced to reevaluate if their product is even viable. Good. Luckily, there aren't many, besides the usual. Your target is a prototype schematic for a new engine that Trident Luxury Lines is working on. According to the rumors, it's projected to be 17% more efficient than any engine on the market. The current schematic was sent to their Star Yard to begin prototyping, so they could be in the office area or the factory floor. The Star Yard is a mix of sales floor and manufacturing. If you're looking to blend in, you've definitely got options. It's not too far, in Aquila's orbit, so hopefully your ship's ready. The Trident Star Yard orbits Aquila in the Cheyenne system, so you'll still be in Freestar space. I feel bad for whoever gets to inform the executives about the theft of something so valuable. Just remember to keep things clean. The results are more satisfying that way.
Trident Star Yard acknowledging hail. All customers are warmly welcome.
Behave yourself.
I'm not certain why we're visiting this Star Yard. It's doubtful any of us have the credits to afford these overpriced vessels.
Are you supposed to be down here?
Wonder where this will all lead. All right, but be careful.
Oh, hello there.
The galaxy must see my latest masterpiece. What are you doing here? Philippe didn't say I should be expecting someone. This is the very heart of Trident, and we don't need strays. Oh, and it tells jokes, too. Well, I suppose since you're here, enjoy being in the presence of greatness. It's here that we create the next generation of Trident starships. Oh yes, I am. I am Gladys Coffin, Chief Architect of Trident. If you have any other questions, make it fast. Listen, if you want to talk about the max safe tonnage of the Astra or other trivia, ask Gia. Me? I design the future. What great new heights we can go to. Oh my, that's just priceless. Balancing elegance with the strict engineering requirements of spaceship travel. That's not science. It's art. An art I'm particularly skilled at. Am I famous? Well, my many, many awards and achievements should give you some idea. Oh, why, thank you. Yes, I've recently won my second Grand Nova Award for excellence. It's a great honor, but after receiving so very many awards and distinctions, they all start to blend together. Yes, I do think I deserve some reward for my considerable virtuosity. I've heard some associates singing the praises of a certain something, hailing from Neon. Velocity, I believe it is called. It's some drink or food or something else. I haven't any idea what it actually is, but my curiosity is getting the better of me. You seem to have nothing better to do. Would you care to go fetch me one of these velocities? I don't much care which variety you get. And of course you'll be reimbursed. Oh, fantastic. I look forward to seeing what all the excitement's about. In my line of work, one cannot be small-minded. As Trident's chief architect, no. As their premier artiste, I must find inspiration in everything. Back.
I'm hoping there was a good reason that was locked.
headline, Mr. Corbin. I think I finally got it.
Just the person I wanted to see. You got that schematic? And we aim to keep it that way. I need to deliver this to Vina so she can start the reverse engineering process, but first, Ulara wants to see you. I've upgraded your security level so you can access the executive floor, where her office is. Tell her assistant Maeve you have an appointment. I won't be far behind, in case you get lost.
终于开始承接高层的任务。
Can I help you? Name an appointment. That's neither your name or appointment. If you're expected, I need that information before allowing you in. So again, name and appointment.
He's with me, Maeve. We have an appointment with Ularu. She should be expecting us.
Thank you, Imogene. I'll mark you down as confirmed. Ularo's in a meeting with Genevieve, but they should be done any minute now if you want to wait right here.
Thanks, Maeve.
Well, sooner than I thought. Looks like Ularu's ready now.
Oh, you know, if they aren't willing, that leaves us with only one option.
God, Ularu, is that always your response? I don't want another PR mess on my hands.
Yes, Viv, because you're too good at your job. Now, we can talk details later. My next appointment's here.
Fine, but you can break this news to Alexis at our next meeting.
Keep out of my way, and I'll keep out of yours.
Good. You're finally here. The one I've been hearing so much about. I'm Ularu Chen, head of operations here at Ryujin. So tell me, what do you think of your new job so far? And I hope you love it for years to come. We're all about encouraging loyalty and investment here. I'd like to think that the sheer dedication of our employees is how Ryujin has remained at the top for so long. Now, my dear Jeannie here says you've been through the basics of what we do and pulled off success every time.
5 successful standard assignments and 1 specialized.
And on top of all that, a flawless record. It's no wonder they love you up here. I happen to have a personal assignment that I'd like to send you on. One that involves meeting up with an outside contact. Jeannie seems to think you're more than capable of handling it.
He's the best operative I've ever hired.
Let's not forget the only operative you've ever hired. Meeting with outside contacts isn't always as straightforward as your past assignments. Some can be fickle or demanding, so you'll need to decide how to handle them and what decisions to make on the fly. I'd use the word trust loosely. We maintain a relationship of sorts. Those who come through get paid, and those who don't, well, they won't live to regret it. That's exactly the type of operative I want. Someone who doesn't take no for an answer. Your contact is Simon Rychek. He claims to have information on a new project that Infinity Ltd is working on. He said it's a game changer that Ryujin would be especially interested in. So his asking price is the big thing to consider. Finance will reimburse up to 1,000 credits. So if you have negotiation skills, use them. You get reimbursed once the assignment is complete, but the immediate cost is on you. If you don't have the money by now due to poor financial skills, I can only hope your negotiation skills are up for the challenge. Now, in order to confirm your identity, Simon prefers code phrases. I'll let Jeannie give you the details on this one because the concept is just beneath me.
Simon is into sports, so he enjoys any opportunity to talk about them. At some point, he'll casually say, "Looks like the Galactic Raiders are the #1 pick for the Universal Championship this year." You get to respond with, "Razor Derby is the only real sport." Got it?
Oh my god, you corporate types never cease to amuse me. Now I feel like I'm trapped in some kind of spy thriller B-movie.
They're a batball team that sucks. They have about as much chance of winning the Universal Championship as Aurora does of going legal outside of Neon. Simon despises batball, though, which is why he crafted that response you give in return. According to Simon Rychek, it's the only real sport in the galaxy. But if you want a lesson in sports, just ask him. Movies are more my thing when it comes to entertainment. You'll find him in Sidonia, so I hope your ship's fueled. Just look for him above the Lux condos in the plaza.
You spoke very highly of this one, Jeannie. Let's hope he doesn't make a liar out of you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some things to take care of.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Don't cause any trouble.
Well, that wasn't too bad for your introduction. What do you think of Ularu? I'm pretty sure all of our field operatives have shared that sentiment at one point. Ularu loves to remind people how expendable they can be. Let me know if you have any questions regarding your assignment. And enjoy your time in Sidonia. It's certainly no Neon. I worked with Simon a lot in my time as a field op. He's a perpetually grumpy man, but I think he just likes to keep his distance. Getting close to people isn't a luxury he can afford in his line of work, much like ours. Only that it's vastly different than Neon. There's not glitz and glam where Sidonia is concerned. And don't worry about it being in UC territory. Simon's smart, so any physical information he may hand off to you won't set off any alarms. Just make sure your ship is clean before reaching Mars orbit. Remember, Aurora is illegal there, so if you have any on you, it needs to stay here. For you? No, only Ularu calls me that, and it's not up for negotiation.
准备降落火星。
Yeah, do you have any idea how far we've traveled? How much money we spent to hitch a ride?
I need to find a real bar. You lost? Or just come to ask an out-of-work miner how his day's going? Yeah. I just wish Sidonia had a bit more to offer while I'm trying to enjoy my unemployment. Not much in the way of entertainment around here. Speaking of, looks like the Galactic Raiders are the #1 pick for the Universal Championship this year. You're damn right it is. I heard they were sending someone new. Nice to see you made it. I have information on a deal being proposed between Infinity Ltd and Deimos Stockyards. It's my belief that your employers would be highly interested in the details. So I'm upping my price. It's steep, yes, But that is why I'm also offering a little side job if you can't pay up.
Well, that's a bit of a steep price for the information. I think you're overreaching.
Glad you see reason. As you may guess, being an informant is not without its risks. I've heard there's a merc in Saturn's orbit who'd like to cross my name off her list. Milai Liskova. If you take her out and bring me her gun as proof, I'll consider my fee to be waived. She's a freelance mercenary, used to work for Inception Technologies. But she likes her independence, so she went into business for herself. She specializes in killing for the right price. So before you get any second thoughts, you should think of it as doing the settled systems a favor. Liskova has a sentimental attachment to that gun. He even named it Ember. She'd never just hand it over. It saved her life once or twice. Seems whenever it falls into enemy hands, it has a tendency to backfire or jam. On top of that, she's superstitious, which makes the gun all the more precious to her.
This bounty hunter thing isn't our problem. We're not your personal bodyguards.
Well then, let's see those credits. For this little tidbit? Believe me, I know exactly what this is worth. Don't think I'm desperate or anything, but, you do have a point. Alright, I'll lower the price. But that's my final offer. Unless you may prefer the side job now? You're going to like it. As you may guess, being an informant is not without its risks. I've heard there's a merc in Saturn's orbit who'd like to cross my name off her list. Milai Liskova. If you take her out and bring me her gun as proof, I'll consider my fee to be waived.
Now wait a moment. I don't believe murdering bounty hunters was included with the corporate job description.
Good. Milai's ship is called the Datura. And like I said, you can find her in orbit around Saturn. Just remember to bring the gun back as proof.
Now what?
That's bad enough. State your business or I open fire. That's more like it. So, tell me what you're doing here. I'll decide whether or not to strip you for salvage. I'm looking for a lot of people, and none of them are any business of yours. Oh yeah? From what? Yours the only thing around here that looks like a threat to me. So, give me one good reason why I shouldn't feed you to the void. Simon will never stop. The man will hold a grudge until his dying breath. Perhaps, but just how do you propose we manage that? Because I intend on staying very much alive. He wants the very thing that protects my life. Of course he does. He knows I would never... All right. You can have Ember. But you'll have to come aboard to get her. You have my word, you won't be harmed, for whatever that's worth.
I'm impressed Simon managed to find someone with guts to come after me. I suppose it shouldn't surprise me that he wants Ember as proof of this. He knows I'd never part with her. We were a thing for a while, until the coward sold me out. I'm sure he regrets it, considering I survived the attempt on my life. And now, I live to blackmail him and make his life a living hell. So if Simon told you I wanted him dead, it's a lie. I want him very much alive and suffering. The first time Ember and I met, she was pointed right at me, and then backfired on the gloating bastard who thought he'd won. She saved my life more times than I care to remember. In my line of work, we're always in and out of the fire, if you know what I mean. Oh, will you? You really think I'd let you just waltz onto my ship and I'd hand her over? If you knew anything about me, you'd know honesty isn't my strong suit. The only truth here is that I've intended to kill you since the moment you set foot on my ship. Your ship, of course. I'd hate to risk damaging something I could easily sell. Plus, this way I can simply climb aboard to see if there's anything of value, rather than have to sift through debris. Any access cards I need, I can just take off your dead body. I'm pretty sure I've already made up my mind. I'm listening. For now. Okay. Fine. You've compelled me to hold up my end of the deal after all. You get Ember, I'll disappear. Besides, I like to think of this as just a temporary arrangement. She's always found her way back to me before. Why should this time be any different? Oh, don't worry. I see this as some well-needed, dare I say, deserved time off. I'm looking forward to the fresh start. I guess Simon chose wisely, for once. Now get off my ship. I've got an identity to arrange and a vacation to plan.
Look who survived the devil herself. Well, either that or you decided to pay up. Things aren't as easy when there's a history to consider. A moment's hesitation or a slip in judgment is just a bullet in the brain. I haven't given it much thought. The truth is, I never thought I'd see it. The only thing I know for sure is that I'm sure as hell not going to use it. Just allow an old man a moment. It's strange. I always imagined I'd be happy knowing she's gone. Perhaps I've been running so long now that it will just take time for the relief to set in. You know, why don't you keep that gun of hers? I think it's time I left the past behind. Yes, let's. Enough about the past. The information I have is on a deal for something called Project Dominion. I'm giving you 2 slates. They contain surveillance and interaction data for Stanley McMillan, the Infinity rep, that I obtained myself. I'm also giving you a 3rd slate because you're going to need to download the files on Project Dominion off his computer yourself. Best guess is it has something to do with Infinity getting into the neuroamp business. Stanley McMillan seemed to think Ryujin would be the one company threatened by this news, so their entry must involve something big. Getting information is what you people do. I'm just a lowly, yet very well paid informant, here to point you in the right direction. Nice doing business with you.
What the hell are you doing in this dump of a city anyway? You draw the short stick at work or what?
Infinity sent me to get Deimos to bite on a deal. He's even got a catchy code name. Project Dominion.
Sounds like world domination to me, buddy. I'd buy into that in a heartbeat.
Right? I'm telling you, this Project Dominion is the real deal. We ought to be selling this to Inception or Quantum.
Hell, you should be in the Astro Lounge making Ryujin Industries beg for that tech.
Ha! That'd be the greatest irony of them all, but not this baby. Dominion is finally gonna put Infinity first. We'll beat Ryujin at their own game.
依据他的日程表，他应该快下班了。
Yes, let's.
Let me just finish sending this. And done. Let's get the heck out of here.
Keep out of my way, and I'll keep out of yours.
Well, that took longer than expected. I hope whatever information Simon had was worth it. Good. Now let's see what Simon thinks is so important. Give me a moment to run a decryption. Let's see. Got the key, deciphering, and done. Well, well, well. Looks like our friend Simon wasn't joking. This is a sales initiative for Project Dominion. It's not an Infinity Ltd design. It's one of ours. They didn't even bother to scrub the name, meaning someone never thought they'd get caught. Come with me. Masako needs to hear about this.
Don't wander into any restricted areas.
Hey,
Ularu? What is this about? Who is this?
This is our latest junior operative. I sent him on an assignment to rendezvous with an informant. But here's the real news. Infinity Ltd has gotten their hands on Project Dominion.
Impossible.
Not only that, they're trying to sell it under their own name.
Of course they are. We need fines to investigate this immediately. Since you found this information, I am trusting you to help investigate. You see, Project Dominion is confidential. It requires a high security clearance to even know it exists. If Infinity Ltd has obtained any information on it, that means we have a very well-connected mole within our corporation. I suppose, since we're trusting you in this investigation, I can give you some details. Project Dominion is our latest advancement in neuroamp technology. Our current neuroamps are all external devices, but Project Dominion would be the first surgically implanted internal neuroamp on the market. The project itself was nearing completion, which is why exposing the mole is of utmost importance. We can't allow any more research to fall into their hands. Because you exposed this information, I have little reason to suspect you. That won't mean you'll be exempt from investigation, of course.
My goodness, Ryujin has a mole problem. Huh. And here I thought your screening process would weed those individuals out. Such a shame.
Indeed. A mess that I expect you to help clean up, and quickly. I want you to go see Dalton Fines, our Chief Security Officer. I'll send him the details. You've brought an enormous security violation to our attention, so I trust your help in any way possible. And thank you. Some operatives may have seized this as an opportunity for extortion. It's good to know your loyalty lies with us. Dalton.
Ah, the lovely Miss Amada. How can I help?
Cut the crap, Dalton. I'm sending an operative your way, along with some files to your computer.
I'll be ready.
Not for this one, but I trust you'll get it done.
Good. You're here. So, thanks to your work in Sidonia, I'm told someone here has leaked information on Project Dominion to our adversaries at Infinity Ltd. A mole within the company means a failing in my department.
We're initiating Security Directive Theta, which means a full sweep of every employee in this building, Masako and myself included. Directive Theta allows for a third party to conduct the sweep. This way, the results can be objective. It's certainly a failing. But for now, we're focusing on redemption. Directive Theta has one unique case, and that's Ularu Chen. The directive calls for a specialized programmer known as Nix to investigate her. But he'll need your assistance for an unusual assignment. Ularu has the ability to thwart any investigation, so it's imperative she knows nothing about this directive. Her knowledge and talents are why she's the chief of operations. So she is the best equipped to evade detection. Believe me, if this mole slipped past us, it would have slipped past anyone. I won't go into the nature of our practices, but our methods are second to none. Nix will be giving you a program to run on Ularu's computer that will pull any data needed to prove her guilty or innocent. Your job is to infiltrate Ryujin Tower as an anonymous outsider in order to run this program completely off the books. This means your keycard will be turned off, and the security guards in the building will consider you to be trespassing. We employ over 100 members of our security team who rotate floors and shifts. It's possible you'll be recognized, but even so, my orders will be strict. Authorized security personnel only. And you certainly won't qualify, making you an immediate suspect. If you get caught, the guards will follow standard procedure and lock you up in a cell for questioning. Provided you don't provoke them. And I strongly advise against provoking them. These are your fellow employees. We want this to go as smoothly as possible. Directive Theta requires utmost secrecy for success. We don't know what connections the mole may have, so we can't risk informing our security team. If that's a joke, it isn't funny. We're trusting you to get this job done as discreetly as possible. In the meantime, I'll ensure all non-essential employees, Ularu included, have left the building, claiming routine security maintenance. During that time, I'll be unlocking access to the tower's ventilation system, which you can utilize to help avoid detection. I'm also issuing you a disruptor, which should help in avoiding casualties should a worst-case scenario turn up. It concerns me that you don't know. A disruptor is a non-lethal weapon. Our subsidiary, Arboron, makes an excellent one that I'll be issuing you. It will stun your target, giving you a chance to get away, but you'll only have so much time before the effects wear off. Ularu doesn't know about Directive Theta, but she'll fully expect a building closure while we investigate. As far as she knows, it's standard procedure. One that she no doubt has already made accommodations for. This is why we're bringing in a third party. She won't be expecting to go up against Neon's best. And it's also why secrecy is of utmost importance. Not even our own security detail can know, in case the information leaks.
Whoa, one moment. Let's take a breath and assess the situation before we start planning an all-out assault.
Let me remind you that not only are we talking about innocent people, but these are also your co-workers. It's in your best interest, as well as Ryujin's, to make sure that no one is harmed. In fact, as much as I appreciate the words of your associate here, you may be better off heading in alone. Any precautions to mitigate risk should be taken. You'll meet Nix at Madame Sauvage's place. He knows Directive Theta has been enacted.